Hey guys, it's Dave here at Boy Dogs Bus. Last week I MOT'd the bus and it all went well, no problems. But the examiner did point out to me that with the bike on the rack, if I did meet up with a picky policeman or so on, he may complain about the back lights being obscured, the indicators, brake lights and so on. Even though I've got a row of side lights across the rack, as you can see, he did think that may be an issue, even though I have got high level lights on, which I added as an extra lighting source, but he didn't think that would be enough, even though he passed it because I didn't have the bike on at the time. So, to combat that, or resolve that, what I've done, I bought these lights from Amazon, 25 quid. Indicators, stop, tail, and today I'm going to fit them on. I'm going to fit them under here. Some bits of metal that I found in my odds and sods drawer. I'm going to make some brackets and then we'll do that and see how they look. So that's the size I want them to be, so they'll fit onto the back like that and box underneath the rack. So I'm just going to trim the other three down. And there we have it, 4 brackets. And they will fit like so. I'll let this dry and then we'll fix them on and give them more paint, particularly where I've cut the edges there to make them shorter. Oh yeah, well here we are a couple of hours later, the paint's dry. I've fitted the brackets on. What I'm doing now, I've just got some sticky back rubber type stuff that came with something I bought, I can't remember what, and I'm putting it on these brackets just for separation because the brackets are steel and what I'm going to fix them into is alley, and we don't want that causing corrosion. So just those on there, bit of a hole for the fixing to go through, and that's good to go. And what we're going to be using are these self-drilling tech screws to do the fixing with, which we'll do right now. If I can peel this off. So we offer it into place where we want it. Get the screws going in. that is it fitted. Look here. So that's it fitted. Get the paper off. I think that's good enough. So all we've got to do is do the same on the other side. And then we'll address the wiring. So that's the fitting bit done, they're on. And I think they look alright, I'm quite happy with them. Now we've got to wire them. And I'm also going to have to add some reversing lights. But I've yet to order some LED lights to do that, but I will do that at some point. So what I've done here, I've run this cable, comes from the backlight unit, and I've crimped this light unit to connect the indicators, brake light and position light and earth, and then crimped an additional wire into this side of it to run to the other side with the earth, position light and brake light. The indicator I'll run separately excuse me, from the other light unit. Now normally I would solder these, but I've crimped them because I will be adding in additional fog lights and reversing lights, but I don't have those at the moment and we're going away again in a couple of days, so this is a temporary setup until I get those. So that's this side connected up as well, just the indicator left to do, which I'll be running separately to the indicator on this side obviously. I'll just put a little bit of heat shrink over the crimps just to keep things separate, even though it is temporary. Right, let's see if it works. And yes, we have lights. Right, I'll just do this indicator and then we'll see if they all work. So with these light units, just ease the outer frame off. It's held on by clips. Remove the screws holding the individual light unit in. And this gives you access to all the terminals on the back, which I use for my connections. And I like these because each one is a nut and each terminal is clearly marked what it does.
Hello, mister.
Hey up, mister. So get your tiny spanner, undo the nut on the back of the indicator connection, and I've already crimped an eyelet terminal, I'm going to call it, because that's what it looks like, onto there. Connect it onto the indicator, nut back on. Much easier than cutting into the harness anywhere else. And you know for sure what you're connecting to. Tighten that back up. Job's a good one. And now we need to thread it down, because what I need to do, because all the wires come in at the top of this light unit, and that's behind there is where I've built, and you can no longer access that. So I'll thread the wire down the back here. Feed it round there. Put this light back in. It's just starting to rain, so I'm trying to do this before we get soaked. That's that one back in. And we take this bottom fog light out. Which exposes the bottom of the unit, which is accessible from underneath. So what I then do is drill a little hole in there. We'll clag that up with sealant afterwards, so it'll all be good. Thread this through. There it is, put it at the bottom. Run it through there. I can screw this light back in. I would if we'd line the holes up. That's better. All good. Frame back on. There we are. So that now gives us our indicator wire, the last one that we need to connect up. Alright, we'll just do a test to make sure this one's working. All good.